it's used for me in the end. I could lurk you guys into a trap sometimes. Like, hey, you wanna call me? And then, like, hey, tell them this that I'm streaming or whatever. So it should be streaming now. I don't think you can hear yourself on stream. If you are, then just say hello to everyone. It's copyright free. We wanted to they wanted to watch the Sonic trailer, and I was like, oh, let's do that. But I was like, oh shit, but there's like copyright shit. And I was like, fuck. And Eric was like, yeah, Eric Preston, we always do that here on the... No, not Eric. Yeah, especially the video. I once used it in an intro and it was like but it's funny, people then realize how far the guy has come. So it's actually a pretty good one. Okay, hello. Hello, you can hear me right now. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to a live stream that is dedicated to the Valve Index. The hype is real, and yeah, I'm here together with Mike, the VR Oasis.
Hello.
Voodoo Day, aka Thomas, and
hi.
Last but not least, Tyrell Wood.
Hey, ciao.
So yeah. So we're just gonna talk about the index. We're going to also talk to you all in the chat and just kind of kind of figure out what happened today, because I still cannot compute what happened, because I was so focused on the Quest that suddenly Valve thought it was funny to just drop all the specs, all the news, all the images, trailers, etc. right before F8, just to troll everyone. I feel like it was it was a scheduled troll. I don't feel like this was random. No, this was like, hey, let's do this before F8 and kind of get people confused, where they're like, maybe I should buy the index instead of this, or because there are a lot of people now that are like, maybe I should wait now. Maybe I should wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was halfway through my stream when the news dropped, and people in the stream were saying, like, the index details are on the website now. You need to go and check them out. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is such like a bold move from Valve to say, yeah, I know Oculus are doing their thing with the Quest and the Rift S today, but we're just going to throw a giant spanner into the works and release some more details that everyone's been craving about our headset, of course, the Valve Index. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. So hats off to Valve for an expert troll.
Yeah. What should we do today? Let's ruin the Facebook party.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely took the shine off the announcement, I think, because so many people were hyped for this headset. Of course, before they saw the price, but we'll talk more about that later, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I thought they were going to announce something tomorrow. That's what I had, like, in my agenda. I was like, okay, today Quest, tomorrow Valve Index, sweet. This is all going all righty-tighty.
We can pre-order it tomorrow. Another 2,000.
Yeah, but what
1,000
tomorrow?
bucks.
When tomorrow? Like midnight? Like
I
right
don't
now
know.
midnight? Or I can't sleep. There's no way I can
just
sleep.
let's just hit
I need
F5 the whole night.
I need to stay awake.
We need a bot to like a ding ding.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
So there is actually a countdown timer on the website that should count down to your local time when you can pre-order it. Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, I saw it earlier on. So
wait, where can we find this?
it should be on the website or the one of many websites because
One of
One of many.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah, they open an whole website for it. That's an interesting.
Oh yeah, I see it. 20 hours. 20 hours from now.
20 hours from now. That's right.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Let me show it right here. So this is.
Wow,
this is
it's on the front page on Steam. Awesome.
Yeah, like how many people are there online right now on Steam? I think like maybe 12, 30 million usually. That's like the count.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, it's 18 hours.
18
Oh,
hours.
so
What?
You can do it early.
I'm gonna get it earlier than you, and then they say like you're gonna receive it also 2 hours before Voodoo.
So what Tyreel's going to do is he's going to buy them all and then resell them for twice the value.
But you have to be fast. You have to buy it 30 minutes.
You should put it on eBay. You should put like an offer on eBay right now. 2 hour early index offer.
By the way, there are 20 hours here.
That's not fair.
It's nice that they have the countdown. That's how you do a countdown, by the way, right? With the numbers.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Not cryptically. Exactly. Yeah, it's a good point. But like, interestingly, like out of you guys, are you all going to be picking one up? Are you going to be pressing that buy button tomorrow?
It's gonna.
Yes.
It's gonna hurt my wallet for sure. But on the other side, since you get so many headsets from companies, it's kind of like, hey, we can at least spend money once, right, in a year on a headset.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super curious. It's a lot of money though. It's a lot.
It's a lot of money, but I think overall, like this is gonna stay there for long. Like it's not gonna be like in a year it's gonna be outdated. That's the feeling that I have.
And it's nice that you can just buy like the headset, you can buy the
Yeah.
controls, you can buy the PlayStation.
That's
so
cool.
that would mean that you can also combine the Knuckles with your current Vive if you have one. Or it would maybe be even cheaper to buy an old Vive, like one of the first ones, and then just combine it with Knuckles.
I don't know because there's the bundle for that too. It's $749 without the light houses, just with the Knuckles. Let's call it Knuckles and the headset. So like if you find like a 250 an HTC Vive complete, maybe yes, it could be a good idea. Also, you have like 2 controllers like left over, so you can just throw them to somebody. I don't know, to Voodoo. Voodoo is gonna take them.
I have some space here. Wait. Oh no. I don't.
It's not gonna fit. Well, you have enough Pimax headsets, so maybe you should.
Yeah. I don't know.
So looking at the website, it says that pre-orders open tomorrow in around 20 hours, and then the headsets are actually going to be shipping by the 28th of June. So by the end of June, we should have these headsets in our hands, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But like you said, it is interesting that you could buy all the pieces a la carte. You know, if you just want to buy the Knuckles, if you already own a Vive or a Vive Pro, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you just want to buy the base stations or the headset itself, that's also kind of cool. But it's when you sort of bundle them all together into this epic bundle, which I guess most people are going to want to buy.
Yeah.
It really starts to sting in terms of like the wallet starts to cry a little bit.
Yeah. I wanted to grab these base stations for so long, these 2.0s, because they were available before. Are these like next level ones? Because with the Vive Pro, as far as I know, if you bought that bundle, you would also get 2.0 base stations.
Yeah, like when I saw the pictures of the back of these base stations, they were stamped with the Valve logo. So they're completely separate, I think, from the HTC
completely new
base stations. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but also the old one, though, they were directly from Valve as well. But they had like the power adapter, the AC power unit was like by HTC. This time it's everything from Valve directly. So it's cool, but they should be the same. And if you already have those, maybe you can buy other 2 and have a bigger play area or do whatever you want. Because it's nice that you can like keep adding like these lighthouses to have a bigger area.
Yeah. People in the chat are saying that Nathan's got one and that he's going to spring it to us on stream as a surprise. Like, hey, look, I got it here. Let's do an unboxing or something.
But like looking at the stream now that you put up the image is interesting. Like the price in euro. I'm kind of happy that they went for not so overpriced like they usually do. Like it's kind of good price translated from dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you look at like the Oculus Rift S and the Quest, you know, whatever you guys in the US are paying in dollars, we're paying the same price in British pounds. So you know, that would have been like a $2,000 headset right there in my local currency had that been the case. But like you said, the translation across the different currencies is really fair, but they've always done that really well on the Steam platform anyway. So I guess that's not.
No, exactly. Yeah. Also, like you have to consider that in Europe, usually you have you have the taxes included. Here not. So like here we have to add the taxes part anyway. So there's going to be the same price, like but with different currency.
Yeah, so let's just quickly go to the specs, and these specs are pretty crazy in some ways. So let's go there real quick. See where can I find this stuff again? Like this website, I do feel like I have problems trying to go through the website, trying to find what I'm going for, because there is so much.
So I can start you off while you look for it. I've got the specs up in front of me now.
Okay.
In terms of displays, you've got dual 1440 by 1600 LCD panels, which have ultra low persistence and global backlight illumination. And those displays, this is where it gets super interesting. It has different frame rate settings. So you've got 80 hertz, 90 hertz, 120 hertz, and then an experimental 144 hertz mode. Now that, I think, out of a lot of these specs, is probably one of the most interesting points. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, so what do you think about this LCD? So a lot of people writing me, they expected like OLED displays. So but I think there are still some LCD displays. I've seen it on the Rift S that is totally playable. And what do you think about it? Did you also expect it OLED or?
I think, previously I've kind of been in the same camp, like, OLED is more superior than LCD. And I've kind of like believed that as well in my mind. But having seen the clarity and the nice display of the Rift S being an LCD with its sort of pixel dense display, I'm super happy with it, because I think, I trust Valve in what they're doing. I know that with Oculus, it looked really nice. So I'm super confident that the LCD will look really nice in this new Index headset as well.
Yeah. I also play with the Pimax with the 8K, and it also has LCD. Of course, in like horror games, this is a little bit bad with all this black stuff. But I think all in all, it should be fine. But we have to try it out ourselves, I think, before we can judge about this LCD.
Like my position, if I can say, about the LCD is a little particular. Like I always prefer OLED, and because like I love the colors, the blacks and stuff like that. And when you switch to RGB pixel arrangement with the LCD, you have more sub-pixels, so readability is better. Here you have the same resolution of like the highest resolution OLED display, but in RGB, so you have even more readability. And the thing that that's why I'm not complaining about these LCD display compared to the others, is because you have the perk of the LCD display, that is the highest refresh rate. That is the first time that we see it. And it's amazing, because we have 90 hertz was considered to be the base, and now we are finally going over it. Now we have to see if our PC are going to be able to use it anyway, because it's going to be beefy to use. But 144 hertz, I don't know if you guys have experience also with the regular monitor, but when you have a regular monitor that works at 60, it's already nice. But when you go to 144, it feels like it's like amazing. It feels like batteries move. It's everything moves so fast.
I have this monitor, this ultra wide, and it's 144 as well. and it's extremely fast. Like
yeah, and for gaming, like, makes a big difference, because like if you think about also like competitive gaming, like CS:GO, stuff like that, like if you talk about like if you talk with one of those guys and say, hey, do you want to play with a 60 hertz display? They're gonna, hell no, like I'm never gonna do it. Like 144 is a big step, and that's why I understand the LCD here, because it's hard as a technology to put like an OLED on 144 hertz, because the OLED of how do you call it? Those membranes are different, so it's not just the light passing through from the side. Like it's the pixel that is to switch on and off, so usually it's longer to get to a higher refresh rate. And here instead, like you have it all. Like give me the LCD. I don't care if the colors are not the best. Like I want it fast.
So you prefer the 144 hertz over OLED? Is that right?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. Like I still have to try it in VR.
Yeah,
but if you like, if I have it at the laptop that has like 144 hertz LCD, and I have my monitors that are OLED on the desktop that are 60 hertz. Every time that I use my laptop, I'm like blown away. Like why I'm not using this every time? It's like I prefer that to the to like a little better colors, to be honest.
Yeah,
but that's my idea.
I know you two guys, Voodoo and Tyrell, are quite analytical when it comes to like your headsets, you know, with the OLEDs and the LCDs and the refresh rates and everything else. But I think, you know, personally, like, although I appreciate the different specs and stuff, but like when I'm in a game, like saying using the PSVR or the Oculus Go or these lower end headsets, it never is a conscious thing in my mind. Like, oh, I wish this was darker, or I wish this was faster, or it's just I'm always just so immersed in the game that I don't even care about any of that. But I wonder, do you like actually consciously think about that when you're trying these headsets, or is it just part of your analytical process when you're testing these headsets out?
Also for me, when I play with the Pimax, and I'm a big horror fan, I notice that all the time I play that game. So for me, I would prefer the OLED and have better 90 hertz, to be honest. And yes, I noticed that not only in my comparison videos and stuff, but also during the game. Yes, for me, but not in all applications. Only in dark games and horror games. This is where I really notice that all the time.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Nate? Do you sort of feel the same way, or do you sort of share my view with that?
Yeah, I'm not like I noticed that after trying so many headsets, I don't really care that much about like specs, especially if everything is so close to each other. So I don't look at black levels and things like that. You know, if a game is fun, then that's it. You know, PlayStation VR for me is fine, and so low to high, it doesn't matter. Although there's one thing that I do start to notice more and more is that field of view for me becomes something I do get used to in some ways, where it's like, hey, wait, it's kind of small. What's going on? So that's something I do notice, but it's not because I'm looking at it from an analytical way. It's just something that I seem to now get used to, where it's like, hey, this is more like a binocular experience than, but still then afterwards I start to get into it and I forget about it again. But yeah, no,
that's the point. Like if you're immersed in a game, many times you don't, like you can, I feel like there's a second spin of what you're saying, Mike, in a way that you can enjoy the game no matter what with pretty much every headset. Yeah. But if you really want to be picky and you want to look like which one is the best of these, well, you can start to get picky. And I do I do change my headset every freaking time that I change the game. Like there are some games that I want on the Odyssey, some games I play on the Vive Pro. And some games I also play like with the Pimax. Some games I'm playing with the Lenovo Explorer. There's $100 headset because like they just feel better in that way. It's like particular, you know. I feel like now we are in a period of big trade-offs when it comes to headsets, and so like you have to decide a little which trade-offs are more important for you or not. And going back to the index. with this, using that as a bridge, I feel like they did a great job of taking pretty much no trade-offs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only trade-off, in my opinion, is the price when I look at it. But of course, this is like the second generation headset, if I dare to call it that. So you're going to pay a premium for that.
And apparently, there's no surprise in that either, because Valve said that it's for the high-end user. So they like, even if you would complain about the price, it's for high-end users. But hey, again, could drop in price later down the road.
I think the biggest key here, and we kind of touched on it a little bit about talking about games, is that is the one thing that we really still don't know about this headset.
That is true.
We don't know about these first-party Valve titles that they've potentially been working on. 3 of them potentially have been in the works for some time now, and it's kind of a strange move that they would give you all the details about the headsets but not about the games, and maybe that's what they're holding back for tomorrow. So if tomorrow is the day that they tell us this is what is going to be these 3 big titles from us, I'm super hyped, and maybe I won't be able to sleep tonight after all.
If they release Half-Life VR, nobody cares about the price. just throwing money.
like maybe that's something we haven't seen. Maybe they bundle these games with that price. So if you then also get those 3 games, might not be that bad, because usually, especially a Valve title, if it just comes out, maybe it would be like around $60-$70.
Yeah.
So and then 3 of those games, I don't think it's then it's nice to have as an extra. But what I just hope, because Clouded Games, for example, also started to tweet a lot today. They have been working together with Valve on this like Aperture Hands demo. It's like the lab, but then like a new kind of like spin-off. I don't know. Very interesting. But if a lot of developers have been working on games in the background, and they really understand the power of these Valve Index/Knuckles controllers, then they can really pull off some new next-level gameplay ideas. And they have to, because right now, like you're not going to go back with the Valve Index controllers and play the old titles. It's not that satisfying, I think, to play. The moment you experience that finger tracking, I don't think you want to go back to any old titles. You want them to get, of course, updated, but I don't think you want to go back. I think it's so addicting that you're like, nah, it doesn't feel right, you feel so much more alive when you can move your fingers and do stuff. Can't describe it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the controllers. I think I've always been excited about the controllers ever since I saw them for the first time. Unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to try them or touch them, but they look so nice. And with the recent update that we've seen just recently from Valve with the tracking software and the controllers with the finger tracking, even when your finger isn't touching the controller, it's got sensors in it that know that your finger is moving further or closer to the controller itself. So it's kind of got that real natural finger movement in game, which is just so amazing. And I'm so looking forward to seeing how that's applied in some of these games that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, no, same here. And I think this is also juicy. They finally revealed what the front part is all about.
Yes.
Oh, the custom slot for the smell module.
So it is a snack dispenser after all.
Yeah. So I watched the tested video, and they showed off one idea that someone had, and this is something we haven't talked about on the podcast. Is that someone made like this LED thing that just lighted up like the Knight Rider? So it's totally up to you.
Super cool.
Although I like the fact that they did this, but I wonder like how many people are really going to make something for that. That's what I wonder. Like, is there going to be a market for that? Like, imagine going like on a store and you're like, what should I buy this one? What should I put in there? I can order pizzas with this one. Maybe I should get this one. I don't know. Like a Pizza Hut button or something.
Like this Amazon Dash buttons. Yeah, order pizza.
Well, they discontinued those, by the way. But,
I know.
But we couldn't bring it back. Like ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
The best thing is you just pay the pizza man a little bit extra so you can just like feed it to you without taking the headset off.
Yeah, exactly.
You can buy it with the Steam cash.
But what do you guys expect to see in that slot? Because what I expect is like a hand tracking, probably like a lip motion style, maybe a little screen to show my eyes. I don't know, but what else? So like, how would you use it?
But how about the finger tracking? It already has 2 cameras that could be possible to use for
like
hand
the Vive Pro is doing it, but
it works. But so how would I put another module for hand tracking inside it? So
I don't know. I was thinking to that too. Is a good point, because like I already have the cameras, but maybe to improve the quality.
Yeah,
but,
perhaps. Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's the only thing like I can think about right now. So
yeah,
I hope we're gonna see something interesting. Also, like maybe a mini PC inside. I don't think so, because like
a mini PC on the front. Like, hey, I need more power. Intel Core in here. Bam.
Something crazy. I have no idea. The only thing is like a USB 3.0, so the bandwidth is not enough for many other things anyway. So wireless module, someone is saying in the chat, but
put it on the
it will be on the top, not in the front. That's the point. Like, or maybe a 5G model. That's something that could be.
What
5G? 5G model.
Interesting.
But the thing about why I'm thinking that this not gonna turn anyway, even if I wish it was like standalone, is because like there's a 3-way cable, so you need to plug in the power unit. It's not just a display port and USB, but you have like the Pimax, like the Vive. You have to connect it to the power as well.
Yeah. So Stubborn Ninja in the chat is asking, why don't they sell the knuckles sold by themselves? Well, they will be selling them separately. You can buy each component of this headset a la carte. You don't have to buy the complete bundle.
No. Yeah.
You want.
I like a la carte.
A la carte.
I think I'm gonna buy the whole thing, but technically I don't really need those new base stations. I'm kind of like, the old ones are fine, right?
Yeah.
And they work with it, but it's kind of like, I want everything new, I want the whole thing.
Of course.
I want the full experience.
Yeah. So the other really interesting part about this, we've talked about the resolution, we've talked about the frame rate. The field of view has increased with this headset as well. And they're touting on the website that it's 20 degrees more than the Vive. So we're talking maybe around 130-ish degrees. So it's kind of like a sweet spot between like a Vive and a Pimax. So you've kind of got the Pimax at the super wide, you've got the Vive at the average, what we've sort of used to, and now you've kind of got the Index in the middle there, which is kind of an interesting sort of degree field of view. So what do you guys think about that?
It's like the Pimax on the small FOV settings.
Yeah, I think so.
So like you probably tried it as well, Mike.
Yeah.
But I feel it's great that they're moving on the FOV as well. Like, and I'm really confident in this 2 double lens solution. So like the distortion would be actually less. I mean, that's what they're saying. We have to try, of course, but it seems like the direction will be that one. So like I don't need super big FOV if I have distortion, to be honest. And if there's a good sweet spot between like a between like FOV and visuals, I'm totally for it. Like I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like one of my main criticisms of the Pimax was, the distortion on the edges of the lenses because of the wide field of view. And the second one was the comfort. I did have some issues with the comfort, but when you look at the optics of the Index with this, they call them double element canted lens design. And apparently they're saying that in the headset, you don't have to move your head anymore. You can just move your eyes within the display and look at the corners of the display, and it will still be in focus in this sweet spot. So that's going to be really interesting how this stacked lens design benefits VR in total in the future, and if other companies will adopt this design moving forward.
Yeah. I like when I watched the tested video, they said that the lenses are kind of like 5 degrees moving a little bit this way when you look through them. So that's also a trick they use, and according to them it was fine, But I don't know. I kind of want to try it, but I'm like, we just gotta wait. We just gotta buy and then hope, because Valve doesn't do any marketing. where Pimax send us maybe a headset to check out, or Oculus where they send you a Quest, or they invite you to PAX to try it. Valve is like, and they don't have to, because their marketing is just like, they have been like trolling around for so long. They leak something here, and then they do this. Yeah, they have Steam. Exactly. And when this launches, it will be on the front page. And if Steam wants, like if Valve wants it, they can keep it on the front page for ages, or promote it. They can always promote it. And something I've been saying as well, like they have a lot of data. People at the end of every month fill in what headset they use, what they have been playing, etc. And they can see all these stats together. So they know why, for example, the Oculus Rift did so well on their own platform. So they could actually use that in their favor. I don't know how competitive they are, but they could really do things that might make it harder for other headsets to. I don't know if they want to. Like back in the days, were all like, Valve opened VR and wants everyone to kind of do their own thing and succeed. But then you have these F8 trolls where I'm like, you can't tell me that Valve doesn't want to compete at the moment, because you're kind of asking for it if you're launching stuff this way.
The thing is, when I read the book, The History of the Future by Blake J. Harris, if you're interested in like the backstory of Oculus and their history, it's definitely a book well worth reading. But you then start to realize that, Oculus and Valve have had a bit of a fractured history together. They were kind of going to collaborate, work together. What Valve were doing was going to be compatible with the Oculus Store, with HTC. The Vive was going to be compatible with the store and stuff like that. There was a lot of negotiation going on behind the scenes, but ultimately that never came to fruition in the end. So there is this kind of divide there. Although, with that said, there must be some crossover laps, and it's in their best interest to crossover. We know with the Valve games, whatever their games they're coming out, they've already stated straight away that you're going to be able to use other headsets from other manufacturers and controller setups to play those games.
Yeah.
And also the other way around, with the brand new Rift S, you plug it into Steam and it works straight away. So there's definitely some communication between these big companies, even though they are in direct competition with each other.
So let me just show a quick clip of the Oculus Rift Kickstarter from back in the days, where you see Valve or Gabe Newell supporting the whole Kickstarter. So let me just play that real quick. I'm not going to play the whole thing, just a clip where you see Gabe Newell. So here you go.
Decided to get behind this project. I got to meet Palmer Luckey and try out the Oculus Rift. And I have to say, it was a very exciting moment. Could be the beginning of a whole new industry
Michael
that
Abresh
leads us eventually to having true augmentation.
Ironically, now he works for Oculus.
Time, every place.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to program with it and to see what we can do. It looks incredibly exciting.
Does this video clip have the picture of him wearing the crazy headset?
I think that Palmer's going to do it.
Or is that another clip?
So we'd strongly encourage you to support this Kickstarter.
So yeah, Gabe pretty much says like, "Hey, I trust Palmer, and we're just gonna do this, blah blah blah." So in the end, it didn't happen. But it was really fun at the start with the DK1, because Team Fortress, for example, had VR support. You could just play it, super fun. So yeah, now they're doing their own thing. I heard they make everything themselves. They don't work together with HTC, with no one. It's like they do it all by themselves. I'm just very curious how serious they are in the long run. Because are they going to be this company where they make the headset, they kind of show some examples, and then it's like, okay, now you do your thing, and we just, watch. Well, I feel like if you're making a headset at this moment as a company, you got to be involved. Because otherwise, it's look at like Oculus. If Facebook and Oculus, like if they just went with the Oculus Rift S and the Quest, like, listen, okay, here's the Quest, here's the Rift S, okay, just make games now. It wouldn't happen. It would completely go wrong. But as long as they are involved and they have these quality control going on, they push developers to do stuff, they also fund developers to make things, I think that's the way forward. So I don't know what Valve is gonna do in the long run. I just hope they are really going to be involved and be like, hey, listen, here's a roadmap. We're gonna release all kinds of games. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Because I don't know if it will survive without that. I like Steam, but right now VR wise, it's full of like a lot of shuffleware. It's hard to navigate it as a consumer. Well, if I buy a game on PlayStation VR, for example, there's almost no way I can buy something bad because it's so well moderated. And that's almost no platform has that. Like Oculus Home comes the closest on PC to a very nice platform. It has a little bit of shelfware, but it's not that bad. But Steam, like they just opened the floodgates at the start. If you have a nice game that you made as a developer and you launch it on Steam, but then there are like 10 others that have this shuffleware title, it completely gets buried in the list, and that's a shame. So I hope they will. I hope they will not just be like, hey, listen, everyone make games for Knuckles, please, or index controllers.
I don't think that anything is going to change on Steam-wise, like how they move, because it's their culture at the end, like to allow everybody to release a game. So I don't think that is going to be like something that is going to change. But on the other side, I'm confident because of the controllers, because of the Knuckles, because like you can kind of see where they're going to be like the good quality games because they're going to support the Knuckles like natively. Instead, the others are just going to use it like regular controllers. So probably that could be a hint. Like when you buy a game, you see like, oh, it supports the Knuckles. Oh, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, but
or no, it doesn't.
I still think you would be surprised how much shuffleware you will be able to play with your fingers. It's gonna be
just do it like that all day.
Yeah, it's gonna happen anyway, and that's the problem. It's the same with Oculus Home. You know, there are developers that get their Oculus Rift and touch controllers. They don't know what to do with touch controllers, and in the end, you get this game in where you can barely interact with your hands and do anything. So I feel like they kind of need to be involved in some way. I don't know. I don't feel like it's going to happen by itself. Like the Knuckles are great. You know, the index controllers are awesome. But if they don't motivate devs and they keep them on board in some way, I don't think it's going to happen automatically. I'm not sure about you guys, but I don't think it's magically going to be like content paradise. I don't think that's possible right now.
I feel like I had the chance to try the Knuckles some weeks ago, and the problem is that the devs have to implement the support for the Knuckles. So when I played Onward with the Knuckles. I had there's no grip button, so you cannot just use the grip button like with the old controllers. So I had to push the B button to grip my to grab my weapon, and this is very bad. So if there is no support for the Valve Knuckles, this will be a big problem for all the games. They have to implement this, and I hope they will do that. So if not, then I will just use the old controllers.
But like content is king in the end, and I feel like like people will be put off by the games that are on Steam.
I think we already know, like they're working with Cloudhead Games. You know, they've been working with them for a while on whatever they're doing, and also Boneworks from Stress Level Zero.
Oh yeah.
The game
is great.
The game is even featured on their page, so they've obviously been working closely with those guys as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's select developers out there who have been beavering away over the past 6 months to a year on some sort of VR title that will be coming out. But I think maybe tomorrow will be the day that we learn more about the games that are going to be best played on the Knuckles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but the thing anyway, like with Valve, they give you the tools to build a game, not just for the Knuckles, but for every controller with just one tool that is like a skeletal input. But yes, the devs that have to implement it, but many games, like they were like Onwards, as Voodoo were saying, like doesn't work yet because it's not built on that. And so like, you have to go use a button to do something that you were using with another button. Instead, with the skeletal input that is going to be the future, if Valve can actually push it, where the interaction is made from the movement of your hands and not from the press of the button. So like, and it is super cool. Like in a way, like I don't press the button when I press it, but I press the button when I do this movement with my finger. So that means that will open like endless possibilities also for future controllers or future like gloves or anything that like have hand tracking, you could potentially play every single game, and the Knuckles at that moment would be the best way to play.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like anyway, they give a lot of tools, like but the devs, yes, they have to start to use it to have the best content out there at the end.
I think they're like, I think what's best is to send it to certain developers, not everyone, because I felt like sometimes hardware seems to be so easy to grab, and of course I want every developer to get the chance to try it out, but I think on launch it's very important to have a solid lineup, you know, like. And that's something I've always found hard to say, is that if let's say Valve had something like Oculus Share back in the days where developers can just throw their demos on and try things out, then it's fine. But some developers make a game and it feels like more like a test when you buy it. It's like, oh wait, this is more of a sandbox and they're still working on it. And I think that those are kind of things that should be in a different section of Steam, you know? And right now it's all piling up, and you don't know what is like a full game. Everyone is nowadays going for early access because it's a good reason to not finish your game. Because like I've played so many titles that have not been finished. Early access can be an excuse. Not everyone is using it as an excuse, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. I think like the hardware is very exciting. It's a bit pricey, yes. But if the content doesn't deliver, I don't know what's gonna happen. That's the thing, you know. You can have beautiful hardware, you can have the best of the best, but if the games don't match up with that, then
perhaps we will see tomorrow if there is some AAA games from Valve released.
Left 4 Dead 4.
Oh yeah.
Left 4 Dead 3. Left 4 Dead 5.
I would like to share the last thing about hardware, because it just popped up. Actually, it's not easy to find, and we didn't talk about it yet. And is the Virtual Link USB Type-C adapter for the Index.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat because it's the only place where I can put it. And it's super interesting because we saw this Virtual Link consortium from all like Oculus, Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, Valve, and now finally we have at least an official adapter when we can use, if you have a 2080, 2070, 2080 Ti or 2060, you're going to be able to use a single cable to connect power, DisplayPort, and USB. So it's going to be plug and play, and that's a big thing for me, at least in VR. And it's just amazing that are supporting it. There's no price yet for it, but the page is up and it's going to arrive. I think that is a great thing. What do you guys think?
That's very interesting. Yeah, it says released on July 31st. Okay, perhaps it's only a placeholder. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
The awesome thing about this is, because I've been using Virtual Link with the original Rift for the last 3 weeks using an A-cell Virtual Link adapter. And I think, that adapter worked great. And I really like just plugging in a single USB-C connector into the PC. It makes life so much easier. What's great about this Virtual Link USB-C adapter from Valve is that it's going to, like you said, convert a DisplayPort and USB 3.0 and power to one port. Interestingly, this might also work with the Rift S because that also has a DisplayPort and USB 3 as well. So you could buy this adapter if you've got that much money and you bought both headsets, then you're going to have a real plug and play situation there, which is going to be super nice.
It's like on top of the price you already pay.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, you know what? My wallet, can somebody give me $20 to so I can buy this as well?
And
I don't think it's gonna be $20 though.
No, and I think this is the thing, from today, it's been a crazy day in terms of VR news. We've had the Rift S, we've had the Quest, we've got the Index as well. I still think, obviously for the VR mass adoption, the Quest has got it sort of covered. But I think, for the super high end enthusiasts that have been really desperately waiting for like a second generation Rift or a true second generation Vive, they're going to absolutely snap this up, and I think they're going to be very happy with it by the sounds of things.
I also feel like there is space in the PC market now for innovation. Like the Quest is something we just know it's going to land on the right spot. It's going to have a great impact. And in the PC market, we have seen a lot of headsets that try to push it, but then in the end they don't completely deliver. Like for example, Pimax, they tried, but then in the end there are certain things that don't completely work, and some things break. And like with Valve, it's like you buy a headset and you just know it's good. I don't think you're gonna have like funny issues with it. Maybe software wise at the start, but it's just I think it's good promotion for VR in general, because I think if these Knuckles can really show off some fresh gameplay, it will also end up at consumers their like monitors. They will see gameplay somewhere like, hey, I want this too. Maybe then the price doesn't match, but I feel like we need more new controllers. We need more innovation controller wise. I think we have seen the same stuff for a while now, and I think this kind of adds something new to the table.
I kind of feel the opposite way in a way, because I think the problem is when you have too many different controller inputs, it fractures the market, and devs just like have an absolute nightmare because they've got to support every platform. So standardization across the range would be a nice.
Yeah, but right now there is space to still make some other controllers, because it's not mainstream yet. So if there's now space to innovate, this is the moment to do it. That's what you see with Pimax. They might have delivered something that not everyone was very happy with. They did push it to the limit to try, even, and I think that's something people need to do. And with these like Valve Index controls, like almost everyone I know in the VR bubble is excited about these controllers because they are really up for something new. And I don't think the controllers we have seen, like the Vive ones and the Oculus Touch controllers, are not becoming the standard. They are not good enough to become the standard.
The problem is, from a developer's perspective right now, is you're developing a game that you're going to release on Steam. You have to integrate Oculus Touch, Windows MR controllers, Vive controllers, now the Knuckles, and it's like that's so much work, especially for an indie dev. Like this crazy amount of work.
And that's why skeletrical input is actually the key. Like we were saying before, it's the key, because like you can have as many controllers as you want, and the technology there can evolve. But for the devs, it's going to be easy. That's the freaking key.
So this kind of like tracking technology, you mean, moving forward is what should be the standard? You saying?
No. It's like how Valve with the like Steam VR process, the input is not anymore by buttons, but by the movement of your hands. So
I see.
So like the dev doesn't have to say, okay, in the Oculus I have to press the A, in the Index I have to press the Y, in the Windows Mixed Reality I have to press the thumbstick, in the Vive I have to the touchpad, on the Pimax I have to turn it 30 degrees left. But it's gonna be just put the finger like that, put an index, okay, you're fine.
It's like, so basically what you're saying is like a converter that just converts for every headset.
It's exactly what it's gonna be, and it's a super cool implementation, and it's great because what you guys said, you and Mike, will be exactly solved with just one thing. And
so Valve have already done all the hard work for the developers, is that what you're saying? And
I didn't know. It's already, all the tools are already there. They just have to use them.
That's nice. It's just that if you look at the market right now and all the headsets that have been releasing for the last 2 years, and that's crazy. Like I remember last year with MR, it started to really go down, right? We're like, why are there so many headsets coming out? And now it's like super normal to have almost like a new headset every 2 months or something. And you're like, what is this? What is that? Should I still care? Should I not care? Like you're constantly in this war with yourself. But I've seen so many new headsets, but I have barely seen any new controllers. And I feel like there's a lot to be explored there.
I tried the tactical haptics. I don't know if you know that, and also the VR free gloves and all that stuff. But that's pretty awesome. If they really can implement this skeletal stuff, then that could be a really nice way to move in games and to grab stuff and weapons and whatever.
It's just that stuff is just not for the consumer market right now. So it's not getting out there to most people. And with the Knuckles, it's like this next gen kind of like experience you can maybe have. So as you said, if there's like this, if you can convert it as a developer, it might be way easier. But I still feel like if you want to build something for the knuckles, for the index controllers, I do think you have to keep that in mind from the start when you start developing. Even that you could convert it, it's great, but I think there's a lot of potential to be had when you start developing with the index controllers in mind instead of trying to convert it later. It's the same with Oculus Quest right now. Like, there's so many games that have been ported to Quest, but the games that have been built from scratch for Quest are the best ones you can experience, because they have been built with room scale in mind, most of them, not every game. Like, I played a few that are just like Journey of the Gods is more a standing experience and not really room scale. But you can see that if you really dive into it, you can see the difference between a game that has been built from the ground up for a particular headset, particular controllers, and something that has just been simply ported over. There will always be this slight difference, and I think it's the same with these Valve index controllers. I don't know. But yes, tomorrow it's going down. It's crazy, and I'm like, the thing is, like, today Mike and I revealed that we have a Quest and we have a Rift S, and now everyone doesn't trust us anymore, and now people think that we have a Valve Index as well. But seriously, I don't know about Mike, but I have nothing to say here.
No, I wish I did. But sadly I don't.
Yeah,
I have
Just
two
kidding.
index.
I have two index like this. Yeah.
Look at that.
but
I'll be there pre-ordering with everyone else tomorrow.
Yeah, true. Although this story I shared on my Twitter of me receiving a cake with the 28th of June on there, it's not a lie. Seriously, I'm not joking. Someone I was streaming. Okay, I was streaming the Facebook F8 thing. And then I could see on my camera, on my doorbell, that they delivered something, but I just couldn't open it. I didn't have time. And then my neighbors came and they said, like, "Hey, here's a package. It's a cake." I was like, "It's not my birthday." I was like, "What? This is not for me." And then it said like 28th on there, and you all know what 28th means. It has something to do with the Valve Index. So I don't know. People are messing around with me right now. It's crazy. But yeah, I am going to pre-order too. Again, it's going to hurt my wallet, but I do feel like it's worth the money for me. Because it's something that it's like something highly anticipated. Like the Valve Index controls have been around for so long.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, moving forward from today, the three headsets that I'm going to be using the most are the Quest, the Rift S, and the Valve Index. They're going to be my three go-to headsets.
It's the new. These are the new hot headsets, basically. What you're saying.
Yeah, and PSVR, of course, because it's a classic.
Hey, PSVR. Yes. Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching this stream. I really appreciate it. Hopefully everyone will be able to at least once try this Valve Index. Like, even if there is a demo station available somewhere or a developer showing it off, hopefully when it launches we will see it a lot on public events too. Because I think that with headsets with these prices, you gotta also demo it somewhere for people to check it out.
Yeah, they should do it like with Oculus at Best Buy. Did you see this stands where they can try the Rift and the Quest? This is really cool. This is what we need in Europe as well.
Yeah, Europe. Yeah, exactly.
Here anyway, they do a lot of demos, like at Best Buy, like a PSVR 2, Windows Mixed Reality. They're always connected, so people can play with them. Before it was with the Oculus in some Best Buys. Now let's hope they're gonna start with the Quest. The only thing about the Quest is, like, how do you stop that person running outside the store with the Quest when he's on this edge? You take it out, you take the pass through, and you just start to run.
Well, I've actually today I've seen a couple of reviews of the Quest where these dumb press people are like going outside to try it and show it off, and then I'm like, who came up with this idea? And it's funny, like, Oculus is the one that sends these Quests to them. I'm like, you send it to people that don't even know how to handle tech in a proper way. And I think that's also a skill on itself. Like the whole idea of press people showing off the fact that you can use it outside is bad in general, because people are really going to think they can do it and they will try it, and it's dumb. It's super dumb. Don't do it. Don't try it outside. I know you're very curious to do it, and I was at a moment as well. I was like, hey, wireless, let's go outside. Let's try this out, right? But after reading all these stories, after hearing what kind of impact, you can really destroy it, and there is a chance that warranty is not going to cover it, and then you have to buy a new one. So don't, please.
Exactly. You know, Zim, you know, part of our podcast, he took his Go outside, and the lenses basically magnified the sun and burnt his display. It was completely damaged. So that is the headset completely written off. So yeah, again, don't take your Quest outside and play in a field, and keep it away from direct sunlight if you want it to last a long time.
Yes, exactly. Don't try it in public, outside places, basically. Yeah. So let's wrap this one up. I'm going to, first of all, thank you all for, joining me to talk about the Valve Index. This was a crazy day. I think everyone did a very good job, on covering the news, trying to get everyone informed. It's nuts. I know. Like at the start of this week, I was already like, this is going to be hard. And then the moment you're streaming, like the worst moment to have more news coming out is when you start streaming, because then you're like, I can't do anything at the moment.
It was so bad. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, same here. I was like, I need to all the data, because for us it's very important to read all these articles, check out all the videos, get all the infos, because then we can tell you a legit story too. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, I don't know anything, and then you're talking about stuff you don't know anything about. It's freaking silly. But yeah, this week was already I think a historical moment for VR in general. I am very curious how this is going to evolve in the market, E3 is coming around the corner too, so I hope we're going to see a lot of releases there as well. So yes, exciting times to be alive. Okay, let's
very exciting times.
Absolutely.
Let's sign off. You know what? We all do our outro. I'm going to start, and then we go to Mike, and then we go to Fudu, and then Tyrell ends it completely, okay? Everyone's like, oh, this is cringe. But hey, here we go. So yeah, and thank you everyone for watching. Now it's time for me to sign off, and as I always say, and I see you guys and next time. See you in the metaverse. Bye bye. See ya later. And then I walk away, but I'm not gonna do it
now. So I would say I hope you guys and girls have enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to Nathy's channel for all his future content
and the rest.
And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. It was awesome. A lot of people watching that, and a lot of people are interested in VR. And I'm also very curious about the upcoming stuff. And see you next time in virtual reality, guys. See ya.
It's me now.
No pressure.
It's me, Nathy.
Okay.
If you like the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel. That should be up here this time for more about VR tech. And of course, all the content from my amazing colleagues. And I see you guys next video. Thanks for watching. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.